Buenos días. Gracias. That's all the Spanish I know. So I hope the rest of it is comprehensible to you. It's a real pleasure to be here. I say that because you have to say that at the beginning of a speech, that it's a pleasure to be where you are. But it actually is a pleasure to be here. It's my first time in Pamplona, though not my first time in Spain. And I really do want to congratulate the government of Navarra for taking this initiative, the Foundation for Innovation, the Foundation for Diversification, and also the European Commission for declaring this the European Year of Creativity and Innovation. I honestly think it's fundamentally important to the future of Europe that we have this conversation about creativity and about talent. It's a great passion of mine and has been for years. We're going to have a lot of presentations over the course of the next few days, and we'll be looking at all kinds of things about institutional issues, about implications for business, about implications for education. But at the heart of this conversation is the idea of talent and ability. And it's really that I'd like to spend a couple of minutes on this morning. I promise not to be too long about this because there's a lot to get through, and we're running a little bit late. But there are a couple of things I did just want to register with you right at the beginning of the conference. I have a very firm conviction that most adults, that means you, have no idea what their real talents are. No idea what their genuine abilities might be. In my experience, most people spend most of their time doing things they're not terribly interested in. They do jobs that they have come to do through force of circumstances. I don't say this is true of you, by the way, but I think it's true of a lot of people, that they do work which they find interesting, maybe, but not with a great sense of passion or fulfillment. And yet I also meet people who spend their lives doing things they absolutely love and couldn't imagine doing anything else. They live lives which are full of passion and purpose. And it interests me to know what the difference is between these two groups and what makes the difference. And at the heart of my view of the world, I guess, is that most of our institutions, and especially education, do not contribute to the fulfillment of human talent. For the most part, they marginalize talent and stifle it. And it's led to, I believe, to a whole series of misconceptions about talent. One of them is that it's rare, that only a few people have real talent. Another is that talent only really finds itself in certain sorts of fields. And the third misconception is that you're either talented or you're not, and there's not very much we can do about it. And I believe all of these are wrong. And that if there is to be a genuine commitment in Europe to the cultivation of talent, it has to start from a different premise. And it's that I just want to spend a couple of words on this morning. I'll give you an example of this. I am from Liverpool in England. Have you heard of the Beatles? Have you?
Sí, ¿verdad?
They're a popular music group who were quite successful in the 1960s and 70s. One of the members of the Beatles is Paul McCartney, who you will have heard of, I've no doubt. last year, I interviewed Paul McCartney for the book that I think you're getting here, The Element. I interviewed a lot of people for the book, but one of the people was Paul McCartney. And I asked him if he enjoyed music at school. Paul McCartney said he hated music at school. He said he went through the whole of his education and nobody thought he had any musical talent. Paul McCartney. One of the other people in the same music group at school was George Harrison, who you may remember was the main guitarist with the Beatles. And nobody thought he had any talent either at school. So, this one music teacher in Liverpool had half the Beatles in his class, and he didn't notice anything special about them. I was in Las Vegas recently, and I heard that Elvis Presley wasn't allowed in the singing club at school. Elvis Presley. They said that he would ruin their sound. Elvis. Now, I could go on with these examples, and I don't mean to suggest for a minute that in order to be successful, it's important first that you are ignored at school, or that nobody notices you have talent. But what is true is that very many people go through education and go to work in our institutions, and nobody thinks they have much talent at all. And they all do. And this is really, I think, the crucial point. We heard some, I think, great presentations at the very beginning of the morning here, all of which were speaking to the same premise, that the cultivation of talent is essential to the future of Europe and of our lives. But we have to understand what it is before we start to talk about institutional issues. We have to know what we're trying to do before we try to do it. The book I've just done, it's called The Element. It's about to be published as well, actually later this year, in a Spanish edition, El Elemento, which is my other Spanish expression. It's coming out soon in Dutch, which is Het Element, and a series of other translations. The reason I wrote it is this, that as I say, my experience is that many people think they don't have much talent. And yet some people discover their talents and live their lives in pursuit of them. So the book is about the difference. And there's an English expression called being in your element. What it means is that if you're in your element, you're doing the thing that you feel happiest with, the thing you feel most comfortable about. So the book is about what it is, really, to be in your element. And I think it's two things. The first is that you're doing something for which you have a natural aptitude, something that you understand and that resonates with you. One of the people in the book is a man called Terence Tao, who is a mathematician. I say he's a mathematician. He's recognized as probably the greatest mathematician on earth. I don't know where else any mathematicians would be, but on earth he's the one that we think about. When he was 2, Terence Tao taught himself to read by watching Sesame Street on the television. At the age of 3, he was doing double-digit equations. I still cannot do double-digit equations. I'm not sure what they are, but he was doing them at 3. At the age of 8, he took a college entrance mathematics examination and scored 97% at the age of 8. At the age of 20, he had his PhD in mathematics. And at the age of 30, he was awarded the Field Medal for Mathematics, which is the Nobel Prize equivalent, and the MacArthur Genius Award. It's reasonable to say that Terence Tao gets mathematics, you know. He kind of gets it. He always got it. He had a natural aptitude for it. Now, I don't mean